準備はいい。Oh yeah, this is how you play Third Strike. Wait, that's Tominaga. This is one of those tournaments. They got everyone playing twice. Tominaga Chun-Li. Dude's a tier whore. Makoto-chan. Tominaga's Makoto is top tier. Makoto's this really weird case. Oh yeah, don't do that. What the fuck? That lack of a punish. He didn't have a good thing to do there because he has no meter. The best thing he could do was probably just a car throw and to get Elena in the corner. A sweep was also fine, I think. Chun-Li like needs charge to get even a tiny combo. You can't just do a move cancel to lightning legs. It literally doesn't work because you need to hit the same kick 5 times, which requires at least 10 frames, or at least, I don't know, 9, I suppose. Nice. What other cancels do you have? Kikoken, which sucks dick. Nice. What the fuck kind of juggle was that? Any human would juggle DP there. That was weird. Cool. Elena has some really good juggle options, but most of them, what up? Ucast, PSO. Love fucking Phantasy Star Online names, dude. Ucast is the best race. I always think that whenever I fucking see you, but I never actually say it. It's like not my favorite. It's one of my least favorites. It's probably my second to least favorite. No, it's like my 4th. I hate the actually bad ones. I hate Faux Marl. That one's shitty. I hate Ray Marl too. Those ones are both a little mediocre. Ray Marl's not horrible. And I hate fucking Ray Cast. Oh. I like the idea. He was trying to catch a throw attack. Atlanta Super 1 does have invincibility. So does her Super 2, actually. Hi. I had a pretty shitty week. But now I'm streaming, so I feel better. Basically, I painted my room and then also had my carpet redone. And that required me to literally move everything out of my room twice, which was shitty. I actually have a lot of belongings, as it turns out. I didn't think I did, but I guess I do. In that process, I've also started selling all my games. I have a pretty expansive list of video games. I could probably sell all of them in a hurry if I made a YouTube video that was like, here are the games I'm selling, I'll sell them at eBay competitive prices, and if you buy them, it'll help me out. I'd probably sell them all like nothing. Ooh. I theoretically have a list somewhere. I actually have an eBay account where I've already listed a lot of them. I'll like do that in the coming little while, because I'm sure a lot of people would be like, you know, a way to financially throw yourself at me, while also, you know, theoretically breaking even, theoretically getting something of equal value out of your investment. Whoa. I'm Orange County. I'm LA County, actually. Which am I? I don't know where I am. I'm one of the two. I've like given up on the game titles long ago. How is this a new thing? It's almost always my fucking mods who come in here and set the actual game I'm playing. I don't care. To me, it's just a nuisance. People can look at the thumbnail and see Third Strike. They'll be alright. Ooh. That's a safe sweeper, so it's okay to do stuff like that. However, it is not actually invincible. It's just pretty fast. It's like 3-frame startup. It's really quick. His other sweeper's 2-frame startup. The other functional one. So Remy's got pretty fast sweepers as they go. Nice. Neat. Remy's close medium kick is a pretty good normal. It's actually one of his best features. There are a lot of normals like that in this game, where it's just a normal with a lot of active frames and a good hitbox that may or may not confirm into super. You can see them everywhere. Like a close medium kick. I don't know. This stage is it's got a very active background. For most people seem to think that this is the worst stage in the game. I've heard that from a lot of different people. A lot of people also hate Elena stage, because it's very monochrome. I think the stage is okay. I don't hate any stage in this game, to be honest. This one's very stylish, but I can. This is the one that I can. This is probably my least favorite. But it's not that I dislike it. I just like all the other stages more. This one's active though. It's stylish. I don't really like the Ken/Alex stage, to be honest, even though that's one of the fan favorite stages, I think. The New York subway. Never really liked that one. If you look at like Elena's stage and then you look at like the Solar Eclipse stage in Street Fighter 4. Solar Eclipse stage is so good. It's like the same idea but 100 times better. Nice. Solar Eclipse is probably my favorite Street Fighter 4 stage. My favorite Street Fighter 5 stage is probably the Abigail, New York. That shit's good. Oh no. On some characters that require Sakara. I don't think Remy is one of them. But he might be. I think the characters you need the Kara are like Oro plus Twins, but it might be others. Ibuki maybe. I don't know a damn thing about Elena's appearance in Street Fighter 3 New Generation and Second Impact. I don't know what she had that changed. She's been in all three in Street Fighter 3 games. Been there since the beginning. Two Remys, yeah. There are only two Remys in the world. Is that neutral jump strong? That has a better downward angle than neutral jump fierce, I guess. Oh. Most people, if a Remy does neutral jump, it's almost always roundhouse, but that's also not very fast, even though it's a great normal. So if you wanted something fast, you probably would do neutral jump strong. It's cute seeing stuff like that. Meaty shoulder, that's pretty daring. You can just parry that. Most people probably would. It's reactable too. Yay, thank you. You're so cancerous, Ingane. I'm gonna say yeah. Alpha music is great. Street Fighter 2 music is extremely great. Street Fighter 3 music is atmospheric. It's probably the least overtly good. But it's not bad. It's just, it's not like trying to be in your face at all. EX actually has really good music. You wouldn't think, but it does. Even EX3, the kind of black sheep of the EX series, has some really fucking kicking tracks. Street Fighter 4 and 5, nothing needs to be said. You don't like Alpha 3's music? I like it. I like it a lot. That was so meaty. That looked like a setup. He missed his super confirm. I doubt that he meant to drop that. I doubt that was him trying to save meter. He got close medium kick on like a crouching Yun. That's a many frame link into super. That's already a 2-frame link on a standing opponent. Oh, Ibuki. Ibukichi is the name. That's cute. Kichi is a suffix. It's a character in a lot of male names. Not really a suffix per se. It's just game versus East versus West. GameSpot versus. Raida is safe and also unparryable. It's a great option to dissuade parries. Ibuki's one of the only characters who has a totally safe way of just fucking over parries. I mean, all characters can tech a throw, but Raida beats parry into throw, whereas a regular throw just techs a throw with parry into throw. Normally you can use throws to blow up parries, but it won't blow up parry throw. But Ibuki fucks it all. Ibuki just makes your parries fucking do nothing. It's a really unique thing for her because, like, I don't know. She doesn't have great range. She's like already a balanced character even with that, but she like destroys one of the game's mechanics with that. And it makes her very safe compared to other characters. People are just kind of unwilling a lot of the time to wake up with parry against Ibuki if she's close, if she could ride at you. Alex can do the same thing with his back fierce, and Oro can do the same thing with his hit grab, but both of those are really unsafe. Ibuki's the only one with a safe, unparryable attack. Ooh, that was not safe. That throw was so meaty. That was parry. He saw the jump and he tried to parry Chun-Li coming down, but Chun-Li just empty jumped, then threw when she landed. Greedy for the Ibuki, and she got punished. Chun-Li's playing it real well, actually. One awkward thing about this matchup is that Ibuki's close jab whiffs on Crouching Chun. And, oh, that was medium kick, hard kick. I forgot that was a TC. Close jab is a really important normal for Ibuki because it's, one, it's very plus, and two, I don't actually know if it's plus, or far jab is. It's the start of her punch TC. Jab strong fierce. It looked like Chun-Li tried to parry that and just fucked it up. He had the health to block it, I think. There were a butt ton of hit grabs in Cross Tekken. They were everywhere. Like half the Tekken side had a hit grab. That's a complete exaggeration, but there were a lot of them. I like Julia's a lot. Julia had a really cool one. I think a lot of people liked it. That's safe and a true mix-up with a throw. However, a blocked super and a successful throw both don't do that much damage. And also it costs a meter to attempt. But for what it's worth, Ibuki doesn't have a whole lot of great uses of meter. There is no EX Raida in this game. EX Uppercut is actually invincible, but you can get parried on the way down. So it's not as good as a lot of other EX DPs. Hi. EX Kunai is not amazing. Like, yeah, you can have it hit and it works, but like it's not a big deal if you get it. There's a little bit more damage than a fucking regular Kunai. EX Sumuji is a nice combo ender, I guess. It's better than regular Sumuji. That's like her main use of bar, I guess. You had parry on the last few. Maybe? I'm gonna say maybe. The problem is Ibuki recovers almost as soon as she hits the ground. So if you hit the opponent mid-air, they fall out. And if you hit Ibuki after she lands, it's really hard to get an actual punish there. It might be possible with a red parry. Not with a regular parry, though. That fireball, that super is kind of unique, though, because it's actually like 20 different projectiles rather than one multi-hit projectile, which means that parrying it is unusually fast. With a single projectile, every parry you freeze the projectile, but that doesn't happen with Ibuki's. So I don't think actually parrying it has that much. Red parrying it doesn't actually. You have similar recovery blue parrying the whole thing to red parrying the whole thing. Or I mean red parrying the end. Unlike all other fireball supers. Whoa. That was a weird time to do that. You can hit her regular kunai out of the air. but you can't hit her super kunai out the air. Oh, look at that cute little thing. Ibuki's usually not point blank after an air TC, which gives you far jab, strong, short. It's weird. They actually combined two of her TCs in Street Fighter V. I guess it's not that weird. But she has, in this game, she has far, jab, strong, short, and then she's got close, jab, strong, fierce, and they're two different TCs. Look, the sub. Oh, excuse me. Damn the sub. I can't scream it, though. Not here. Not now. Maybe later. I'm in a quiet house. Nice. He's dead. What was I saying? I had something in my mind and now I've forgotten what it was. Oh yeah, the TC. Anyway, they're actually different starters, even though they both start with jab strong. The far jab, far strong starter is visually different. It's different normals than the close jab, close strong. Both the jab and the strong are different for those two different TCs. But because they abolished close and far normals, in Street Fighter 5, they both start with the same two normals. Jab strong short and jab strong fierce. And so they just gave it two different enders and then made one of them safe and one of them unsafe. So it's not actually a bad idea. It's kind of cool. I like that it's like her strongest starter too. I mean, technically you can get a little more damage out of Crouch Fierce into cancel rather than doing the Jab Strong Fierce, but it's pretty close. It's like within 10 damage of each other for most of her combos. Unless you're going into like super or something. Damn! The sub. Like that. Just take a big breath and then damn as long as I can. That's the frame. It's A frame because it was crouching Ibuki. He had a bunch of frames to do it. You have like an extra 4 frames or something, 3 frames. That was weird. That was actually really weird. What just happened? It looked like Makoto grabbed Ibuki from really far away. Like a Kara. I think Makoto actually dashed in and we just lost some frames from the animation. I saw that video. I saw the longest ever, yeah boy. Or something like that anyway. Yeah, boy. Oh my god, Makoto's forward dash is so stupid. Stand jab Karakusa? No. I can barely beat them with my mains. Next question. I guess, do I have infinite tries is like part of that question. What's up with my mic? I feel like I'm getting more like air in it than I normally do. Alright, I fixed it a little bit. That shouldn't be straight in my fucking path. Shouldn't come with one button. Was it Tragedy Assault? Or whatever? No, what is it? It's like the moonsault kick or whatever. There's like a way you can beat most of the comms with like Nash, because oh yeah, that key flare, it works. The comms are really bad at detecting the range. They don't really know where you are, and they hide that with rather clever programming. But if you forward jump, the comm doesn't really know if you're about to land on him or if you're about to like way overshoot him or if you're about to like stop short of him. It just detects that you did a forward jump. How many of those do we have now? We got Nash, we got Geef, we got Ryu, we got Akuma, we got M. Bison. There might even be a couple more. It's cool. I want a whole game of all those guys. Oh, that's what I said back then too, right? Now we got more of them. I mean, that's what fucking Marvel Infinite was, and also Marvel games in general.
そう考えるとこの誠の動
I
き
feel
を
like Marvel Infinite was probably a better attempt than Marvel 3, at least, of making everyone busted.
まあ残ったけど
A lot of characters were kind of fair in Marvel 3, which was thus unfair.
Yes, yes, sure. This Makoto is not
No, the damage is actually not that. I was rewatching Street Fighter 4 recently. The damage is a lot lower than I remember. Mostly because you see a lot of confirm combos, which sacrifice a lot of damage for confirming. Ugh, Makoto. Oh, what kind of bullshit confirm is that? Bad! That gives you a decent amount of time to punish.
運がいい
Got the stun.
ラッキー
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 Stand hard kick.
This is a
Oh,
lucky.
she can probably confirm Super 1 then. In fact, I think I've seen that confirm. It leaves you pretty far away, but I think Super 1 will still hit.
大平さんには誠の動きを結構教えたんだねこれやっちゃダメだよと
この間ね
あかんよとその辺がね
壊しが足りないよって
そうダッシュがどうのこうのとかって言ってねダッシュ見てから何かやろうとするヒューゴは大体
まあ無理だからね
簡単っすよね
ダッシュ早すぎて無理だからあと
そういう
むしろ壊しとか振って下見ないで
The clap.
見てるみたいな感じでやっ
その方がいいよね多分ね
だって下見ても見えないんだから見たってしょうがないし
そうそうそうそれでいてその下段の振りが速い技せっかく持ってるんだからそれを使った方がいいですよね
Nice. Crouching Hugo.
で壊し振ってたらこんなのが刺さってしまう適当に振るのは良くない
そうだね
Makoto Super 1 confirm is so useful.
でスパイ
As long as they're crouching. So if you have a hit that launches, it goes away.
体力をねさすがにね逆転するのはね
Also, most supers force stand,
かなり
しかもギガスだから
but not all of them.
減らないっていう
そうだね
ハンマーだったらねスタンとか出てくるけどギガスはスタンしないから
これ誠に対する SA どうなんすかね結構俺はハンマー嫌なんですけどね
いや多分ハンマーで間違いないんじゃないかな
Aura basically can't exploit that.
まあでも難しい
Most of your combo starters start with a launcher.
誠の二択途切れるっていうのがあるから
There aren't that many force stands in third strike in general.
ちゃうと
Oh, in fourth strike. I don't know.
それとあとハンマー当てた後の遅れが強い
うん
I guess
そう
not.
そうそうあれは完全にタクかかるもんね
かかるね
There's a couple characters who are crouching for their dizzy animation. Hugo is one of them. I think there's at least one more.
そうそうそう
Which means that when you do your follow-up combo, you have some unique options available, link-wise. I don't know what the fuck that does for Dudley. It's like a really strange thing that it even exists.
ボディプレスが結構強すぎるあの状況ちょうどいい距離になってきたらさ
He was like stand medium kick. Stand medium kick from Dudley forces stand.
じりじりこれもう完全に事故らないように完全に
I think he has a TC into that normal too. Oh, he wanted just raw super, I think. Because that stand light kick was a punish.
キャラ体ですね
It's a weird stand light kick to get that, to be honest.
大平さんは常にベストだから
藤原さんのユン対川橋君の誠、まあ、こ
Um,
の見る対戦カード
I mean, first of all, cross-up unblockables wouldn't even exist in Street Fighter 5, so Aura Super would be very different functionally.
それな中来撃めくりなんですよね
If you want to imagine Aura Super 2 in Street Fighter 5 engine, just look at
さすが
Dalsim because he's literally got it. They would make it stronger.
いや
He might have a little bit of a mix-up before it hits you,
さあローテーションが
but it would be really rare in coming on since it's a super and they're expensive. So he would probably only do it
強いっすね藤原さん
in combos and stuff, or as an ATR, which is pretty much how Dalsim's used Dalsim Super. Unfortunately, Dalsim kind of needs his EXs because he can't complete a light combo without EX. He's part of an elite crew, elite team, along with Geef and not Geef, Fong. Fong can't complete a light combo even with EX, to be 100% honest.
なんかやろうと
It's not like fucking EX up ball is a good ender.
さあここは繋がんないけど
The only remotely good Fong combo from a light is stand jab, stand forward. And that's pretty picky. You have to be point blank. And there's no like pair of lights you can use.
そうですね本当
Is that Fujiwara written under Yun's name?
まあでもこれは順
He's
当
playing
に
Yun.
順当に来てます7対 対7。7対7。そう、7人もいる。
I consider it fairly likely that if they bring Oro to Street Fighter 5, he has two supers.
これね、組み合わせで、1ラウンド目がマジでロックつけて、
はい。
相手の方が圧倒的にゲージ溜まるの
I
早い。
think they'll maintain
そうだね。
EX super in some manner.
半端ないんですよ。
1ラウンド目はちょっと苦しいんだね。
そう、1ラウンド目はマジできつい。
どう考えてもユンの方が早いもんね、ゲージ玉のね。
But I don't think he's going to get anything really wacky. I don't think he's going to get an install super.
センターはチラシが届かない。
When you say technically always, I mean like a lot of routes, it's a spacing dependent thing.
ここは
A lot of routes, it's either not too hard or totally impossible.
あ
So I would call it the opposite of very hard.
今の投げがバック
Technically, you can space yourself to be the perfect range, but that's really difficult a lot of the time.
をニュートラルにしても
And then you've got some certain starters that always put you the perfect range, like his fucking coward crouch follow up always puts you at the range where you can do short jab jab fierce, I think.
分けちゃった時、
もうため
He can micro walk.
あ、もうダメだ
That's usually possible, unless it's like a -4 punish that he needs to get. Oh, between the jabs. That's a very small walk. In fact, I'm not sure it's possible. Because he might need to chain the jabs or get a 1-frame link to even combo them. Of course, it's not a 1-frame link. It's actually a 3-frame link because of the buffer. But that's... Oh, nice confirm.
で当たってしまった。
痛い。そこから運ばれて
That was a pretty good salvage for what he started with.
もうこれは
Very big top is the one... Is that in the second game or the third? That's one of the cases I'm just not looking forward to at all. I mean, I think it's no secret that it's probably the worst case in the series. Nothing about it makes any fucking sense.
そうっすね。
And also, I hate all the characters. The only one I even remotely don't despise is the clown.
あー、ウェイ率が出なかった。
まだ残るか。
さあ、これね、結構背中で難しいからね。
うおー、すげえ
That's a pretty bad case, but I guess Apollo Justice Case 3 is also awful.
つながった。
壊しの方は多分つなげるの難しいんですけどね。コパンより途中で遅いはずだ。
嘘。
僕じゃないと届かないからこうやってしたんで。
天才？
うん。
天才
距離
現れる。
見てんの。暗転中に。
暗転中にコパンじゃ届かねえからしゃ
I don't even remember the clown's name, I just like him.
難しいけどそれでやるっきゃない。
そうそうそう。
いや、うまいですね。そういうところがやっぱり細かいところで
そういう。のが画面を見るっていうことが。
Clowns are funny, who knew?
暗転した瞬間に距離を見て。コパン
He's basically just George Costanza, but a clown.
いやー、画面見て
Oh, that's the normal. In the flesh.
やべ、暴力が。画面端の暴力が。なんとかしのいだ。うわ、まだ終わんねえ。
He went for a corner combo, he's a little bit too far away.
あ
This is Fujiwara, playing Dudley.
あー、遅らせ。さすがのユリア、画面端はきついからね。逆に画面端きついけど後ろにね。
Oh, I just realized that that's a Three Stooges reference, isn't
ー
it?
ポロンって投げて終わりですからね。
さあ、確定。
Larry Curly Mo.
谷は入んないけど。
Oh,
折れた。
あー、巻き込み。
最強キャラ。
Fujimura. He's the best Dudley.
このゲーム知らないことがまだある。
He might actually be the best Dudley.
違うんだあれ。
Fujiwara.
飛び事故。
The Mora threw me off.
もう
I got it wrong. I think the Wara has something to do with flowers? No, the Fuji might have something to do with flowers.
おー、しのいだ。
The Wara is the same as the
ゲージを食べつつクルージング。
うわー、こ
クル
れは。
ージングしててもいきなりダッキング。
It was one of the towns.
やばい
そうだね。
They got bombed.
ワンチャンあるよね。
一応空気読んでクルージングしたいけど。空気読んで。
それはある。
I think
ジャンプも適当にやったら。
Hiroshima.
ぶち込んだりしなきゃいけないね、たまに。
そうそうそう。さあこれ痛いの入る。
Nagasaki.
ジャンプ中パン。
No, it's not. It's neither of them.
厳しい。
What the fuck was it then?
やばいやばい。さあ、
It's got some bomb fucking something, but I don't remember what. Kokujin is the other best Dudley.
ある。
Kokujin has had... When Kokujin played, I think they both still play. I think Kokujin still plays a little bit, even though he officially quit.
さすが。
I think he had a little bit better success. Oh no, it's Tominaga playing Makoto. Oh no.
足だけが速すぎて厳しいこれ
That stand short whiff was actually low-key really good. Because that put him really, really close.
終わるだろ終わりですからね
There was like a threat of a Karakusa that he didn't do. Timeout. Look at that. It was subtle, but I saw it. The best side strike Makoto, like, almost has to be Tomi. No, I don't know. There's a few good ones. Momochi had a really good Makoto. Momochi's neutral on Makoto is nuts. Yeah, the low short.
もうこれ
Mimura as
終
well.
わるだろ終わりですからねパンチが
Mimura is one of the better ones. And there's like another one. Was it Boss? Both Boss and Momochi, I think, played Makoto for a bit.
届かなかったさあゲージがやばいことになっている
Momochi played Makoto for a lot. They swapped.
さあこれで
One played Makoto and one played Yun, and then they both like took on each other's characters. Like Boss started playing Yun and Momochi started playing Makoto or whatever. I don't remember how it played out.
そうねこれ前の人で抜けちゃうんですよね
Don't forget when Tokido played this game, he started with Urien and moved on to Chun-Li eventually. And his Urien was seen as one of the best ever Uriens. But like not even like the second best Urien was almost like a non-factor compared to
もうガードするしかない状態なのにあんなの飛んできたら
RX. There have been like a couple Uriens who were really good besides RX. And they're good at different things. Like obviously RX is like the set play god. Like actually the set play god and also the partitioning god. But there were a couple others. Masatsu Yaro is like a super duper good Urien.
見たいななんてすいません忍さんが許してくれなかったです
And there was another who was really good who always played the gray Urien.
ダメだってうちのリーダーが
Taro, I think.
やっちゃったねこれまずいね富永さん先生いけないね
It's hard to find footage of him if you just look for his name, but he's in a lot of videos like these. But like really old ones. Like on the Shend.
これ出してなかったですねごめんなさいね
No, I have not thought about that. I'm rusty too. It's pretty easy to call if you've just like seen even a decent amount of like old footage of this game.
はい、3段。
Like if you're trying to think of good cues, it's like a pretty short list. There's like Key. There's fucking Kuroda. There's Out. Remember Out? Anyone ever see Out? He's actually probably the second best Q I've seen. The third best. After Kuroda and what's his face? Who's the other one? The guy who fucking always does the crouch stand tech. Name is escaping me. Kuroda. Which one? Japanese something or other? TM, yeah. How did I forget 2 letters? No, I didn't even know that was a thing.
キャラさただのキャラさだからほんま
I guess that was the last match for that one.
今日は
It's a big blue boy. I went a little too far. Here we go.
11月15日の
Mi Jinko versus Ashita something Yama. I don't know.
先方がですね 1P がミジンコさんの号機いつもと違うんですねとあと明日富山さん
Ashita Toyama.
富山さんという名のドライさんの
Ashita is like tomorrow.
いてててて
Toyama is almost certainly his name.
は あいいえすぐ死んだあれコロさんコロさんコロさんあれコロさんどこ行った
Someday. Oh, that was still an anti-air. I thought Hugo would be able to land. I think he thought so too. Yellow to blue? What? What does it mean? This isn't somehow a weird reference to the confetti, is it? Man, this Akuma's giving the fucking Hugo a hard time. Capcom had a Street Fighter V tournament just recently where they, or there was a major recently where they ended the tournament with yellow and blue confetti, which technically speaking are the Capcom colors, but everyone's treating it like it's a spoiler, which it might be. Everyone's like, oh, well, fucking Abel's yellow and blue. He is. A couple other characters, too. Hugo Akuma's not horrible. It's probably Hugo's third worst matchup, so I guess it's pretty bad. Most tier lists call it a 7-3, so I guess, yeah, it is pretty bad. It's one of those matchups. You know the fucking ones. Hugo literally, like, kills Akuma instantly if he touches him. But also, the neutral is really hard for Hugo. Anti-air lows are so strong. Akuma's a really strange character because he's not super duper good on the surface. I mean, he is really good. He's got nice meterless damage. He's got good movement options. Got the teleport and stuff. He's like got a lot of tools. But he's like, he just seems like a Shoto at first glance. Ooh, that's nice. Are you gonna spoiler it for me? Who's we? I've taken him down a bunch of times. It's your turn. Ooh, nice teleport. I'm gonna keep on playing Makoto until I get it. I think I can beat Spab with Makoto, but I need to play well. That was a punish. Urian's punish options are surprisingly not that great there. Uh-oh. We can have it on a different day, but unfortunately Thursday's literally the only day I have off work. So I might just do an endless lobby on like Wednesday. Haven't decided yet. I gotta like confer with all the other regulars. No, I have things to do. I can't do it Thursday. But like, well, Friday I work from 5 to 9 p.m., so I won't even be here. Wednesday evening, tomorrow evening is my best shot. You get pressure if you use a far mirror. If you do EX mirror, it'll actually combo, and then you can combo out of the EX mirror, but then you have no follow-up pressure. So you gotta choose. Donked. You guys see that? Look, he hit himself. But he feels silly. Yurin had a kill there. He was probably caught off guard. He didn't know how his combo would go, given the increased pushback from that fireball. 5 to 9 is like the worst shift I could possibly work. If I'm gonna get pulled to work, you might as well pull me for a while. I feel honestly the same working a 4-hour shift as an 8-hour shift. I feel like the same amount of time passes. And it's like late enough in the day that I can't really do anything after I get finished with it. But also, like, I don't want to start anything that day until I've already done it. Oh, just a bit shy of the range he needed for the cross-up unblockable. That's a punish. Crouch trace is unsafe. That's like the biggest difference between Oro and Urian. Is that Urian's launcher is unsafe. Urian's super is more readily available than any of Oro's. Well, Super 2 is very readily available for Oro, but it's generally not super useful until you get your launch. That's a pretty bad shift.
見えましたね。
はい、では1P 側2人目がバルニャンさんのレミ。
Urian's super has pretty much equal application for combos and
このカードは
pressure.
例の時間停止バグが
Oro's almost in the same boat, but not really. The pressure is pretty weak with Super 3. It can be strong depending on your opponent's character. Like, it's pretty strong if you're fighting like a Hugo, because you get to put him in a really awkward situation, because you can't really avoid it very well. Oh,
レアキャラなんだよね。
that could have still worked if Urian just tried to take a throw, so it wasn't even, you know, a bad idea.
周りにいない可能性もあります。
Remy's meter's not super precious, but also he just doesn't get much of it. So it's precious for that reason. But it's not like he has much to spend meter on. EX Boom is okay. EX Flash Kick is generally the same as regular Flash Kick. And fucking EX Cold Blue Kick is shitty. Remy's always been like better than a lot of the other low tiers. He's just had very little tournament success. He's like more well-rounded than most bad characters.
そうですね。ツムーンさんとかミノルさんもそうだしですかね。割と
Remy's a character who has a lot of options that are all mediocre.
レミ
Nice.
してなければ辛い。
Remy supers are both pretty good. That's like the main thing about his meter. Urian parried thinking he was gonna. That's actually kind of funny. You see that? Urian parried thinking he was gonna have to interact with it before he hit the ground, but he actually successfully hit the ground. So he could have just blocked the super, but he went for the parries instead, and he missed them. Parry timing on that super is really weird because it changes based on how far away you are.
2P 側3人目タックス
タックスさんですね。
タックスさんですね。
タックスさんです。
先ほど
Anyway, Super 3 pressure is really good with Oro if you're close. If you're not close, it's just regular ass Oro you're playing, with slightly more damage on your pokes. And getting close is not hard, but not as simple as you would think.
本当に嫌っぽいから嫌っぽいのが終わってる。
そうですね。伝統の一戦を彷彿とさせるような
Oro can kind of lock you down with a Super 3. And you can't turn the lockdown into a full combo the way that Urian can, because the stones also fuck your ability to juggle.
ですけど、
Unless you're using EX stone, in which case it doesn't last very long.
まあどっちでもよかったですね。せめてピオ
You gotta choose.
今39割以上あった
I like stuff like that. I like when you have to choose. I like when you've got positives and negatives with both options.
確定のヒーリング。
It's like up to the player whether they want to pressure with 5 stone or 3 stone. 3 stone is like more reliable pressure and lasts much longer, but 5 stone can be converted into a combo and 3 stone can't.
結構キャラ差パないから。
So 3 stone just ends up being a whole bunch of fucking stand short.
いって
Nice. Oh, that was a failed flash kick? I don't know what that was. It was a really weird Serenos. I guess, no, that doesn't... No, that juggles, right? That should juggle.
大サバたまってなかったですね。
Anything should juggle there.
おう
I never really thought about it. I never really thought that Remy could just juggle anything after a fucking air-to-air fierce.
なんか違うんですよ。
Almost every single Remy player just juggles fucking flash kick because it's the highest damage. But like everything should work
なんか
because that's how juggles work in this game.
ソニック機能しないし、
どうしようもないですね。
In other Street Fighter games, you have to juggle into something with juggle potential.
ついてってる人も結構いるっす。
It depends on which character you're playing. A burst parry into throw is a really good idea generally. 4 parries very quickly. Just fucking pick a direction. You can parry the stones high or low, so it doesn't matter. You have to know whether Aura's going to be starting high or low. If you successfully parry Aura's normal and then parry all the stones, Aura will still be frozen in parry stun. And you won't be because you'll have parried the stones,
危ねえ刺さってた。
which cancel the parry stun of fucking
ジャンプダイパンブレイブで
you parrying Aura.
で終わりっすか。あ、ブレイブじゃねえのか。ヒーリングか。ジャンプダイパン昇竜しかないんですね。
今ヒーリングアイテム使わなかったんですかね。
It's weird.
いや、手元は回ってたんですけど。
やめましょうそこは。そこは見えなかったことにしましょう。
I just realized this video has 30 thumbs up and 21 thumbs down. wonder if something happens in the middle of the video that makes it horrible.
林さん本当悪い顔してますね。
いやいやいやいや、だってね、まあ、俺コロさんのも見てますよ。
まず
まずい。
エッチエッチ。
いててててて、もう真っ赤っか真っ赤っか。
あ
Ooh, nice.
あ。あれ
Oh, Elena players can't complete combos.
EX を使わないのが正解。
Classic. Classic Elena main.
EX はね、絶対に誰でもミスるんで、絶対死ぬときは EX 使わない方がいいですね。飛ばれないように。
ワンピ側。
さあ、鈴木回しで大平さんのヒューゴです
3
ね。
人目大平さん。
これ、でもあれですね。
これもだいぶ厳しい組み合わせじゃないんですか。
A super jump over. You think a regular jump would be better?
せっかく
Kuroda famously plays, it's either all but 3 or all but 2 characters.
うまい。あ、うまいね。
And the 2 characters he doesn't play are characters he thinks ruins the game. One of them is Chun-Li, I think one of them is Yang, but I forget who the other one is. He plays like all but 3 characters in this game. I don't know who he plays in Street Fighter 5, but apparently he's picked it up. He probably saw a movie playing and was like,
あまり近づ
Chun-Li probably is the most third strike-ish character in Street Fighter 5.
でもヒューゴはどっちかっていうと近づきたいですね。
I think he has a Yun. I think there's a Kuroda Yun DVD.
まだ体力もったいないんで。
I think he does like Yun. Ruining the game and being busted are different things.
カサカサやめてください。
いや、しょうがないです。これもうなんか昔からの癖なんですよ、これ。
I think you could make a much better argument that Chun-Li ruins the game than Yun,
でもこのラウンドはね
even though
有利で
both of them are pretty similar tier-wise.
けど、これハンマー当たると201回で終わりかけ
Look, it's Kuroda's opinion. I don't know. Don't ask me to explain it.
今危なかった。あー
Yeah, the characters he didn't release DVDs for are the characters he doesn't like.
いや今少し読みましたね。あそこブロわれて。
あそこからハンマー飛んできたらもうわかんないですからね。
わかんないですね。さあ画面足に押すか押され。
Yang is more set play based than Yun. Well, I don't know if that's true. It depends on what you count as set play for Yun. Yun is very freeform for his Gene combos,
うまい。
and his neutral is a little bit more.
おうまい。
He cares more about what the opponent's doing than Yang does.
あ EX 使った。
I mean, both of them can fucking hang back and whiff low strong if they want to.
しょうがないです。さあ、続き。
It's definitely better for Yun because he's got better supers.
さあワンピ
さあ、続き。あ、しげきさん、剣なんだ。
Shigeki.
剣。一時期チュンとかユンを使ってたようなんですけど、やはり剣に戻してきましたね。
そうなんだ。
9手前ということで。
I wonder what Crota thinks of G. If he's playing Street Fighter 5, he must have tried G, right?
見てあー賢い子だなっていう。
はい。また
G's quite a third strikey kind of character.
結構このキャラもだいぶ強いんですけど。
この組み合わせは逆にエレナが辛い組み合わせになっちゃいましたね。
そうですね。あ
Nice combo. He went for the double. That just works on Elena. You don't need a car or anything. Crouch medium kick, double light DP.
さあ
That's one of the ones that you don't need the car for. He didn't get it.
おーこれ弱小流じゃねだよね。
Okay, I lied. Urien's the most third strikey character in Street Fighter 5. By far. That being said, he's not much like Street Fighter 3 Urien. A bit, but not a lot.
潰したいんですけど、潰すの失敗するともう絶対刺さっちゃうんですよね。
It was only one parry. What the fuck was that?
といいゲージの入り方ですね。
What fucking planet is this Ken from where he did that? What the hell?
ないんですけど、潰す
You normally only see that to close out a round.
割といいゲージの入り方ですね。
He really, I think did he really do that for the hard knockdown? That does give you a hard knockdown, but it's such a lot of meter to spend. He's got a shit ton of meter though, so it could have been on purpose. G is a really good attempt to take what Q has that's unique and make it a little bit more functional, while also providing a. It's like a Q flavored character without being Q.
下がってましたね。
ここまで来たら剣はもう
It's like a nice little reimagining.
ですかね。あ、
まあいいんじゃん。いいんじゃん。さあ、しげきさんの勝利。じゃあちょっと
拮抗してますね、試合は。4人目同士。池田さんの誠。
It's like an offensive version of Q, the way that little power up works.
どこ勢なんですか。
But it's like it gives you something to think about that's different for both the G player and the opponent, which I appreciate a lot. You have like it's one of the only matchups where you actually have a different priority than every other matchup. Like I'll take suboptimal things just like because of that new priority. Like generally speaking, I like to anti-air with Crouch Fierce and then cancel to either a Fireball or a V-Skill as Sakura, but that doesn't give me a knockdown. So against G specifically, I like to anti-air with Light DP because that knocks him over. But I don't get my like follow-up pressure. You see what I'm saying? And there's a lot of situations like that. I normally end combos with hard Tatsu because I like the +2 and the point blank, and I like the ability to like walk out and get like back fierce or whatever. But G, I like to end combos with DP because I get the knockdown. That change in your priorities. Unfortunately, a lot of characters don't care. They just all their combos just end in a knockdown. But Sakura is one of the characters where what she does differs. For most characters, it matters for Antia though. You see plenty of fucking Antia's change. Ooh, there's regular Tatsu. Parry timing should have been pretty similar, so it was just a fuck up from the Makoto. He was not expecting to parry multiple times. Most of the original characters are pretty cool in my opinion. Most of them. Even Ed, I like a lot. Ed just needs quality of life. He got some, but not enough. I like Falk's ideas a lot, even if she's horrible. Colleen and Abigail, I think, are dope as fuck. Same with Zeku. Minot's great. Maybe a bit too great. Apparently Minot's win rate went way up online over the last like few months. She's had like a steadily higher win rate every fucking month. Like not even just alongside buffs. Like they went up on fucking, you know, anyway. And more so than other characters. Really obvious fucking thing to read into this is that Minot is a hard character to learn to play. And people are getting better just because they've been playing her longer. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. That stand medium kick is a really interesting tool. A new fat character. Okay, not a grappler though. We need a different kind of fat character. We need a Rufus. Let's bring Rufus back. Make a fat woman. There's like a disturbing fucking lack of fat woman in Street Fighter. The fattest girl is Mika. Doesn't that seem wrong? Oh, that red. That was nice. What's Mika's trainer's name? I want her. Oh, that's hard to do. Manually timed universal overhead link light DP. Easier on a crouching opponent, which I think Purple Ken was. Nadeshko's no, she's not the trainer. Makoto has this fucking barrel woman who fucking has her hauling around a fucking tire and whatever. She drives a golf cart in some of the intros and outros of the outros for Armika and Alpha 3. She's got like a description that's like fucking explosive and then a name, but I forget what it is. It might be like fucking weather. Yoko Harmageddon, that's it. That's her. She's big. She can be our fucking big woman. An old lady character. The oldest female character is either Rose or Viper, but I don't actually know who's bigger, who's older between them. Rose is based on a woman who's in her fucking 50s. But I don't think Rose herself is in her 50s. Oh.
そんなこんなで1ラウンド目取って刺激さんが優勢な状態だが、ここで壁張り、最後の方で重なるであ
Oh,
ろう。
tackle, tackle, headbutt. Classic.
EX 二つ巻きを言わされる
The hits that got. It got like the first and last hit. And swapped sides, no less. Oh, I saw an EX move.
だね今
Ken tried to do EX something.
基盤でないけどね。
シェイさん、ここは
I don't even think Chun-Li's mom has been shown. That was a really nice forward dash, though, and I can't believe Ken teched it. You barely have enough charge time, that's all. Or you asking why isn't it easier? Because that's a fair question. You don't have to do tackle, tackle, headbutt. You can take on optimal combos if you want to. And a lot of matchups you can throw a fireball in there to make it easier.
悪の数字富永対
Tackle, fireball, tackle, headbutt, or tackle, fireball, tackle, fierce.
さあ投げが入って画面端でバット外野手で
Good chase.
外野手
Wait, how did he chase there? I feel like I saw 2 dash punches.
さあ投げが入って画面端
I feel like there's just a disturbing... That was 4 dash into DX dash punch. I feel like there's a disturbing lack of ugly women.
昇竜拳見てますね。
I want literally like Rufus with fucking titties. With different titties from Rufus.
さすがの富永さん。じわじわと追い詰めていく。ガラクタ入って、スーパンテストでしっかりゲージ回収。さて、これはガラクタ捕まえたらゲージがちょうど1本溜まるか溜まんないかぐらいですかね。
I don't actually need my fucking ugly representation. I just think it'd be funny.
これ捕まったら終わりだ。
怖い怖い非常に怖い
さあ、もうこっからは怖い時間帯。
これは大事これ大事
で、これは EX テスト。なんか出してたけど、壊しが当たったのかな。さあ、中大波動陣内入って、裏を
When are we ever gonna get a female Bruce Lee clone?
投げて、EX 倒し。
Every Bruce Lee clone is just Bruce Lee. Give me a woman with Bruce Lee's fighting style.
また出して
Dead.
ガラクタが通って、これは
Huh? No EX?
テレギが強すぎる。
Oh, is Chia Bruce Lee?
EX テレギ。
I didn't know that.
さあ、富に勝って、さあ、絶好調だった刺激源を止めて、5人目、藤原さんですね。
あー試練は続きます。
ダドの方は割といい勝負なんじゃないかなっていうふうに見えていますけども、相手は暴力と
暴力と悪
バイオレンスの響き。
Oh, he did it. He did chop the super.
あとは
So that's a really weird little thing that people do sometimes. It's horrible on block because it doesn't fucking confirm. But the idea is if the overhead hits, the super combos from it, and if they parry the overhead, which is generally what happens if the overhead didn't hit, it's because someone reacted to it and parried it. Then if they do parry into punish, they get hit by the super. Because their punish just whiffs because Makoto jumped to the other end of the screen.
あー、まあ、死なない死なない。
Where's the EX? He had a kill there with EX. What's he doing fucking hoarding his meter?
まあ、気がないけど、
That was a really nice cross through.
あー、
That was just a free ass EX. Did he just drop it?
また EX テレギが強すぎる。
さあ次の方は
はい、1P 側の副将ですね。本日
Jero.
ジェロさん。
I've seen this guy play before. He's got a neat play style.
よいしょ
Nice. Lock in low parry. Strong technique.
いやまあ
Oh, sweep got thrown. I like never touch sweep. A lot of other RO players use it a lot. I don't like it very much, to be honest. It's like decently safe and decently fast.
さあ
It's like one of the better sweeps in the game, maybe. It's like a master of none kind of move. It's like this really awkward middle ground between like almost every time you do use it, you could use something safer, you could use something farther away. Technically speaking, it has the most range of all his lows, which is kind of important. But to be honest, it has about the same range as low forward. Oh. It's okay in some matchups. This is one of them.
捕まったら即ゲームオーバーと言っていい状況。
Mark my words, Dan will be in season 4.
確か魔法
In fact, I'm pretty sure he's going to be the first character,
にくい方だった
まあ
and he might be
そうで
free.
すね
Because I don't think that they would, I don't think they would add a free character,
まあ結局
but also I don't think that people would buy Dan.
ああ入れ違っちゃったああそれは危ねロー暴れ強いですねサンフレ
あ、まあまあまあ EX でもう一回読み合いが始まると。
But if I think Dan will make it to Street Fighter 5, I think he'll probably be in season 4. And I think that
はい、対象対象。
he'll probably have something.
まあそうですね。結局上の人たちがなんやかんや長寿ラをしてくれる。
Lethal joke-ish.
さあ新田さん今日は剣ですね。
He'll probably have something that's like busted on other characters.
もう唐草の間以外で攻める立ち回り徹底してますね
そうですね。ちゃんと近づかれないように小足や中足を置いている。
Unfortunately, Dan's lethal joke in Street Fighter 4 kind of got shit on by FADCs.
あー非常にまずい
投げる。
In vanilla, he had the ability to cancel into a super taunt and then cancel that to Ultra 1, and it would give you a full connect Ultra 1, which is pretty cool on paper. You could do like low forward fireball, and on reaction to the low forward fireball hitting, you could cancel the taunt super, and then cancel that to Ultra.
もうすぐどちらも一本溜まるっていう状況で。
But unfortunately, first of all, it's a shit ton of meter. Second of all, if it's in a confirm, then you can just do. I mean, if it's not in a confirm, you can just do EX Fireball FADC Ultra 1, and that costs one less bar while doing a lot more damage.
と刺さってる。
So, you know, obviously, low forward EX Fireball is more expensive to just do. But if it works, you have a cheaper combo to Ultra. It's also not bad. And then, what really the nail in the coffin was Super and Hao Gadoken, which then became his main Ultra most of the time.
長さん出しが非常に
Since you had a 2-bar set up into Ultra, and that completely invalidated the Super Taunt cancel. The worst character in SF5 right now, probably Claw. Other people might disagree. Sonic Cali. He could be the worst, like, you know, I don't like him, kind of the worst. He's probably my, like, I don't like him the most.
優勝は富永さん
He's not horrible to play. He's, like, fine. He's also not horrible to fight. He's, like, fine.
普段より力が出た。
つまり
正義の心が一つになった。
つまり
Time for us to watch Defend the North. This is aligned incorrectly, isn't it?
Tournament's going good. They should have definitely gave these guys a stage so everybody can see how bad Third Strike is online. But what can we do? We appreciate the tournament anyways. We play Third Strike whenever and wherever.
I should piss before I do this. You're talking about Abigail? Because every single character they've introduced as DLC beats Geef. All of them. Every single one.
Disco first.
Except Ed.
Kang being a special.
And to be honest, I don't even really want to say with certainty that Ed doesn't beat Geef because he might. It's hard to call. There aren't really that many good Ed players.
All right, and it looks like
Dominions
Isco
Ed's
is
getting
going
good.
to
You guys
the
been watching that?
I'm gonna heal.
Leaps and bounds.
Definitely listening to my advice, guys. He sucks.
A button check in third strike. Ain't that some shit?
Straight up Brexited the stick.
Alright, when's the match start? Ooh, it's a Necro. That's cool.
Shake hands. You don't do that before.
Necro in top 8. Oh, it just says singles. This isn't even top 8.
First game. I've heard some EXO fanboys begging EXO to play a character aside from Dudley. I'm a fan of EXO, especially when he's losing.
This is Exotech. Really?
This is my favorite time. I do want to see
Exodus. That's him.
I love EXO.
He's the Dudley for sure.
I like Necro. Loves a very strong word.
Nice.
And he gets to jump in.
Exo has like a Yun and a Ken as well.
Drop.
They're all like a little similar. They're all very third strikey.
Right now, first game is a little fast paced, but they are in losers, so it's
Geef's like such an all or nothing character.
and this
You only need like one button to fight him well, and if you don't have that one button, he's impossible, and if you do have that one button, he's not. It's just like attrition.
is close. Oh my that was so
It's so silly.
random, but don't look over here, Kang. It was just random. You don't have to look.
One block into red parry was the way to deal with that. The initial parry is really tight, but the one block into red parry is fairly consistent. That was a good red. That's how you deal with that. I like don't do that very often. I can do it in training mode like pretty reliably, but I never go for it in match.
Wow, okay. Very smart. Good parries, but can't get anything off that. Jesus Christ, alright. Exodus is rushing down like I've never seen before. And he gets thrown to the corner. There we go. Try that worked out. Isco needs to keep the corner, and Exodus is just jumping in like a madman. No confirm.
That's probably a punish, but yeah, I was gonna say it might lose a hit, and it did. Losing the first hit is always the one you lose, and that's the one where half the damage is.
Oh no, the drop. Nice throw. Small life lead here for Isco. Oh, throw again. Yeah.
Nice.
He gets the medium punch this time. There we go, Isco.
Necro's pretty fucking scary if he corners you.
I swear to God, totally not biased. Not biased.
Pretty fucking scary is a bit strong,
Totally want
but the fact that throw leads to good damage.
Yeah, that's right. Good space there from Exo, gonna punch the standing roundhouse. Nice block. Ooh, no confirm on a super. He almost had it. Right now, Isco is. There you go.
That's a hard question to answer. He's had decent success. I'm not really sure. Oh, he went for it and he got it, sort of. On some characters you can get 2 hits of the second super there, I think, but it's...
Exo in the reset.
Oh, he lost some hits.
Oh my God. He actually got hit. So this is what?
It's hard for me to call like what Necro's weaknesses really are. I can tell you how Aura beats him. He's like low on most tier lists. He's probably actually mid. He's had more tournament success than like Elena, who's almost always called a mid tier, but Elena also fights the top tiers a lot better. Oro fucking outpokes him, believe it or not, despite the fact that Oro does not have stretchy limbs. Oro also has really high damage anti-airs, which basically prevents Necro from really leaving the ground. And Necro doesn't really have a good way around Fireball and neutral. Necro's jump is very slow and floaty. So you can just put a booger on the screen and Necro can't really easily get out of the way. He can like super jump, but then, you know, you've got so long to try and mix him up before he hits the ground. And if he drills, then you can just get a guaranteed punish on it. And if he doesn't jump, if he just blocks the fireball, you can get a crossover in the corner and get unblockables on him. And if you're not in the corner, then probably you shouldn't have thrown the fireball in the first place, but at least you can get some pushback into the corner. And then the unblockable on Necro is very easy. Anyone can do it.
Really good spacing there. Very good corner control. Oh, but gets thrown into the corner himself.
Is he dead?
So mistimes as he cracks over.
Second one. Damn, I missed fucking a high pass start. That was like 2 full combos. Based on the health. I wouldn't call that a full combo. I'd call that a full combo.
Oh no, not looking good. One more
You don't see a full jump in from Dudley very often.
And that's what happened with Dudley. I would say. He definitely can't hear. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. You can feel like you're getting a nice big life lead on Dudley.
Let me jump ahead a
No
bit.
leader the whole time, so
Is that a Q? And a Makoto? No, it was on Hugo stage. No, it's fucking... It's on Hugo stage anyway. That's right. It's 30th.
Oh, wrong button, sorry.
But it's not a Q.
Alright. Hard red hits a standing roundhouse, doesn't do anything afterward. First command grab.
Shitsugeki Mai
Kind of weird mix up, but alright.
Ijanai. I don't know.
Jumping with the overhead. Fierce, okay.
Ijanai is like it's not good.
That's sweet, though.
Is not good.
Oh, wow, the challenge. What a challenge.
I is good. Or yoi.
Alright, this is way too fast paced.
And Janai is a short form Dewa Arimasen.
It's Makoto. Ooh, and the fierce. The toward fierce. Sherwinism. Here we go. First round with the hard red.
Ooh.
Nice, here we go. Nice parry. And,
He went for the mid-screen stuff.
I would drop that.
That's hard.
I would drop that.
I think you need a smaller micro walk in that. What the fuck?
Okay.
Wake up EX short swing mode?
I get it.
No, it's actually not too bad.
Block. Nice block. With super plus on that. Nice parry, but no punish. Okay, interesting.
I don't know that many Japanese expressions at all.
Choices right now. They're not overcommitting. Yeah, what can you do? Parry, but no punish, and dash of command grab. Alright.
I know a couple mnemonics. Or not mnemonics, what do you call them? You know,
I call that the
little blurbs.
Yeah, you want to get the kill. You want to get the kill. I think he's enjoying his stay in America. He's getting a little greedy on that.
Like Hanayori Dango.
Wow.
Like, Nori... Oh, fuck.
Tominaga. Dan's character.
Oh, no.
Tominaga, where?
I don't remember the fucking medicine one. What the fuck was that? I feel like I've never seen that.
Oh, Tominaga.
He got an axe kick into another Fukiage.
Tominaga, where?
That's a thing? How has it been years and years and I've never seen that?
It's over. That's it. Rip City.
Damn, that was actually hella good.
Sakurai looking a little shaky. Okay, he tried to
I think I've seen that in like a combo video before. I've never seen a match.
back in the day where you would click on the link to download the video and it would take 3 days for you to get it. And it was only
He did the TC anti-air. That gives you a lot more hits and thus a lot more parries.
let's go hard red.
You can actually do the full thing. You can do medium kick, hard punch as an anti-air with Dudley. And it's fucking 4 parries. Dudley going to Stamen House there. Dudley Stamen House punishes Makoto's dash punches, if memory serves.
Hard red. Sakurai, where was the tutorial?
Dudley Stamen House is one of the best cancelable normals in the game, to be honest. It has the damage of a heavy. The range isn't horrible, and it has no. It's not proximity based. So he can do it at ranges where like Shotos would get far fears. He gets his same ass Stamen House that he always gets, and he can convert out of it at max range, or even beyond max range and empty cancels.
Ooh, there we go.
It whiffs really quickly too. It's like a really fantastic normal in general.
The resets.
He can use it to build meter.
Very good roundhouse. Let me stop this nonsense. Alright, and hard red fighting back right now. Sour, please.
Don't touch my mustache. That's it. That's Doi Tashimashite. That's the Japanese. You're welcome.
Whip punish. Wow. I am
That's how they teach people
Okay, good space.
how to remember it. They say, "Don't touch my mustache." That was one of Sodom's win quotes in Alpha.
Oh, wow. Where's that, please? No, no punish.
Oh yeah, dude, the dance was as Kino as I thought it would be.
That's Soto. She doesn't block.
It was actually more Kino than I thought it would be. It was like clear they knew it was going to be a meme, so they had to like really blow everyone's expectations away.
Yes.
They had to make it like it's a very silly scene. It's just a silly little one-off.
Whoa, no, hit the punish.
If they ever do a part 7, they're gonna write an actual song for fucking Pizza Mozzarella.
Wait, that's 1-1. What are you doing? He's like, shake my hand. Shake my hand. 1-1. 1-1.
They're gonna have like a whole episode devoted to Pizza Mozzarella.
Wow. Hang would say land of the free. What a traitor. Kang's trying to Brexit out of America right now with that comment.
I wanna fuck Narantia.
Duke is trying to make sure he actually Brexit's out of here.
Who's the best in Bucciarati's gang? Who's the coolest?
Stringing the point down a little bit. A little bit. Caught his backdash there, and now Duke is pushing him into the corner. He's like, how does it feel, bro? What's up? Early on the road. Wow.
I like Abachio. Is that his name?
Chop.
Zipperman. Boring but also correct.
Sakurai trying to fight
Bucciarati is the best.
and burning as much meter as possible. Oh my god. And this turned around a lot because Sakurai was actually really dominant the second game, and Duke has just reversed that. What's I think it's good with Makoto, right? She's been kind of intimidated. She's slowing down a little bit. A little as you say that, now she's in the lead, and Sakurai is probably looking to burn some more meter. Okay, yep,
No.
there it is.
Ooh.
Mista is a fine opinion. If you like Mista, that's fine.
Gets dart shot, no super.
Mista was right. Every fucking turn, Mista was right.
Wow, woke up
He was
in
just a
a-
superstitious ass,
Cleaning up, crouching
but
strike.
all of his superstitions came true.
Tight speeds up a little bit. Yeah, definitely. Oh my god, the EX. And
Oh
command
my
grab,
God.
wow. That was really ballsy.
He was reliable too. He was like the most reliable guy in the entire team.
Let's go.
Nice anti-air fierce. Ooh, a lot of buttons, a lot of buttons. Wow.
Whoa.
Not even punch for a torn parry there after the whip Kodaksa.
Fugo was gonna turn into a villain, and then Araki didn't have the balls to go through with the plot line because he said it really upset him.
Oh, the late super. Oh,
Fugo was gonna betray them all.
Sakurai, you had that.
Went for the parry.
That
missed
would have
it.
been a
He had like a deliberately overpowered stand so that it could be a really menacing stand when he was a villain.
Good game for that guy. Hard bred. Very solid showing.
wow. KO Fiend versus Frankie. A classic match of old man versus slightly older man. You're up.
Stando Scout.
No, it's KOF.
Frankie BFG and KO Fiend. I know about these guys.
The fighters.
I think what happened to Fugo should happen in more stuff, to be honest. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with the character in the plot just saying like, hey, fuck this. I wish that happened in more things.
Or that, yeah. That's probably it. Brooklyn's
It's a trope that's like never... I should say it's not a trope, but it should be. I don't know.
as fine as Bigelow. Fine as Bigelow.
There's something about it that's kind of interesting.
Alright, so right now KO Fiend going with Makoto. And Frankie
Double
going
DP.
Kara Sharyu into
Makoto's a wide boy, so you can do 3 low shorts on her. Ooh. Makoto's the widest boy in the whole game.
EX.
Ooh, good parry
Good
there.
parry.
Take anything off that though. Back that was what I was looking for.
Nice.
Wow.
Kara, no Kara. And
There we go.
light Tatsu? Medium. Roundhouse. That was roundhouse.
Roundhouse. Roundhouse. Wow. Okay.
Jump throw into the corner.
Just in
Nice.
time.
Excellent.
My favorite anime? We're already talking about it. My favorite anime is Paranoia Agent.
Wow.
Oh
and
my
Frankie
God.
right now is dominating.
He's an ass
Not
whipping.
sure if this was a very good choice.
Ken's deliberately not taking some decent pressure times just to stay safe. That end.
He did.
He was really trying to just not put himself in a really risky place.
I can't do that. I don't have that. My donuts aren't that big. They're like average, maybe below average. Bad feelings generator.
I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so we've got a character switch here. Went from Makoto back to Jay.
Yep. And this is actually the KO.
We had a new JoJo Part 8 chapter like 2 days ago. It was pretty good. We got a new stand.
Remind me, that was such a
Well, okay, we got a new stand like
Air target combo.
a month ago. Or 2 months ago, actually, at this point. But it's a cool stand.
That's a lot.
Ooh, with the punish on that sweep.
We got a new Pompadour in the latest JoJo Part 8 chapter.
Ooh, what
Okay,
a trade.
straight DP. EX, alright.
That was
He got taped, dude. He was cool.
Still more meter, more time off his arm.
I'm actually really liking this current plot line.
Wow, the whip punch.
I'm ready for this Pompadour.
Oh, here we go. We got some good,
We got confirmation.
very good throw. And KO Fiend looking super dominant with his character switch.
We got confirmation that Yasuho fucks.
And it's very interesting because Frankie has his training partner. If you don't know,
But I already knew.
also plays.
I didn't need to be told.
A good block there from Frankie.
Or maybe he was the other R that we shouldn't say off.
Oh. No punish there on the whisper
Wow.
tempo.
I heard that button. He definitely confirmed. 100% committed. Straight up proposed on the first date. Wow, good EX.
A dog died in JoJo Lane? I don't remember.
And KO Fiend in the corner, fights out.
Wow, challenges on
One dog dies every part.
Oh! See, this is what you don't get to see in other games. Oh my god, footsies! Woo! That was medium input there.
Wow,
Not sure.
standing strong to beat the
Stand
dive
strong
kick.
and then crouch forward off the reset just to keep him grounded.
Standing strong to beat dive kick.
Sometimes several dogs. Ooh.
Very good cross up.
Confirm there into
And
the EX slash.
good parry, but a little bit Very good delete.
Dude, there's a dead dog. Fucking one of the two ghosts is a dog.
With
He's dead as fuck.
roundhouse into crouch short. Very good solid play from both.
A dead dog is one of the core characters of part 4.
If he would have started Yang,
Although I guess it didn't die in the part.
games are games. You never know how they're gonna go.
I'm not even talking about this third strike.
No, Rakurai broke it. Fine.
I think it's the joke is that Araki hates dogs. He actually probably loves dogs. That's the whole point. He shows a villain killing a dog to fucking show how evil they are. That's actually a trope. It's called kick the dog. If you want to show a character to be evil in 1 fucking second, you just have him kick a dog.
Digital Deshiken.
Yeah. Angelo killed a dog too.
Great value Deshiken. He got him from Walmart. Great value Deshiken.
Angelo was cool. His stand.
Pantry.
That was a really strong start.
Boom. Wow. So it's changing. It's not great value. It's great wall. Great walls. Because he's super solid. Got it. Yeah, my experience. Wow.
Really good dash under.
He's trying to learn Ken. He's pretty strong.
That might have hit the recovery, the landing frames.
Wow. Maybe he knew this whole time, and we just never knew. This actually is the Defend the North current champ. Is it? Or did you win? Oh, okay. Frankie's the current champ. Frankie, go home. Wow.
She was already whole. She gave herself a wound.
Let's go. Let's go, Dishiken.
Nice.
Let's go, Dishiken.
Wait, this is Denji's? I just realized. And Nikki KO, what the fuck? Why was I not paying attention to this?
Let's go, Kenjis.
This is Deshiken. I mean, this is fuck. This is Denji's playing Ken.
What is going on? He's
I knew he picked up this character.
I'll be back.
I mean, I've known he's played Ken for a long ass time. I always thought his Ryu was better, but Ken's like a better character
Denji's trapped in the corner right now.
than Ryu a little bit.
Okay, so we got a cross combo there.
Ken is also pretty good against Yang.
Freed up right now.
Probably Yang's worst matchup. Not that Yang really gets counterpicked.
Great wall.
No, this is a really slanted matchup in any way. It's probably 6'4" Ken, if even. It's like 5.5, 4.5, I bet.
Hated that. We're like,
Probably 6'4".
where's the excitement?
Ken's Shippu is probably pretty good for punishing Rekka. Probably. I don't know though. Because in this game you can't just mash. You can't just hit him and then mash. You can't block one hit and mash super because you could just get hit by multiple Rekkas. You get hit if you stop blocking.
Ooh, the throw. Oh, here we go. Ooh. Oh, wait, what? Oh my god. Oh my god.
I was playing this pretty well.
Oh my god.
Went for 3. The super jump out.
Sick.
Oh, that was a good whip punish. I do not like that. That self corner.
What? Wow.
Same medium kick's tiny movement moved him out of the corner, which upset Yang's whole setup there.
Yeah, he's like a. He's better.
Yeah, that's actually safe in that context. After all those, oh, it hit midair because it was the towards medium kick. Ken's anti-air super is always safe, even if it only gets the first hit. The opponent will still be knocked down long enough for the super to finish whiffing.
Not everybody plays third strike, man. They're not that old. Not like us. Third strike
That was a good walk under.
Dude,
That was a good parry.
almost old enough to legally drink beer in America.
Sand jab. Almost everyone goes for like a DP or a medium kick there, or like a close fierce.
Stop doing that.
Sand jab is purely reset. You sacrifice quite a lot of damage there. Light almost do very little damage in this game.
Ooh, a little bit too far. Good space in there from Mika. How about some fucking pulse on this fucking
Risky overhead.
corner to be death? Nope, he's not.
I played Nika KO's Yang. Ooh, it was a good idea. He had after the first parry was pretty awkward. He couldn't do anything safely because it could have been a second parry, which would beat anything he could do. By the second parry, he could have thrown, but I think it wasn't gonna kill. Yeah, so he went for just more parries. I think based on what seemed to happen there, but the parries can be staggered. No, he got hit crouching. He probably went for like down medium kick or down light kick or something, or he got hit out of a super motion. There's a lot of things that could have happened there. That's a difficult situation, to be honest, when you're parrying Yang's EX Rekka, because, you know,
Trying to style, and he tried to do.
you don't actually have that many frames to punish. because he can just cancel his recovery frames into another Rekka hit.
Ripping that super or fucking
I beat all of Nikakeo's characters with some regularity except the Yun. Well, I mean, I still beat all of Nikakeo's characters with some regularity. I don't win like... I win over half of the matches I play against him if he's not playing Yun. Yun, I lose over half. But we go back and forth. We're like pretty close, no matter which character he's playing.
he lost his
I think overall he's a better player than me, just purely because the fact his best character is better than me.
full effect. He got a sequel. He got greenlit for the sequels.
You can find footage of me playing against him on YouTube.
This was going to $2 theaters, bro.
There we go, stun, that's it.
No, this is going to Redbox, baby. Redbox exclusive. Fucking Sundance Film Festival. Like Sharknado 8 is revolutionary.
Deep.
Blacks are whack. Black is whack, though, real.
A DP can catch a short dive kick that a parry wouldn't catch because the dive kick wouldn't hit. DP can still hit it.
Alright.
So DP is, technically speaking, not a bad reply to dive kicks compared to a parry.
It's like bootleg.
Normally, most people parry a dive kick, but that can open you up to empty jump, or rather, empty dive kick. Good jump. This is hard to punish. It was a good idea. It was a good idea. He just fucked up a little bit. Oro can just chase that down with like nothing. Oro can just dash after it. Oro's really fast. And even if he can't dash after it, if he's like midair, he can chase it down with the X stomp. So it's really easy for me. Other characters have more trouble. The coward copter to chase him was really smart. But he had a little bit of landing recovery. And then probably tried to do whatever during the landing recovery and couldn't find it. Probably just tried to do like air EX Tatsu land throw, but he threw while he was still recovering on the ground.
You know what? We just gotta start this off by saying, fuck Lance. Alright, anyways. Thank you guys for watching, and we are...
The great thing about part 5 is you can't even spoil what King Crimson does,
going for Super 2. This is important.
because that would require you to understand what King Crimson does.
And look at these traps.
Oh.
Beat. Nice parry, but
All of Yang's pressure is so safe. That was the NC dive kick.
very dominant.
And it looked like it hit
Beat.
a parry? I don't know. What did he do? That was an ATR parry. Yeah, that looked like a parry. Or maybe a block.
Very dominant.
He like wiggled. It looked like a tap forward, then a tap backward. It could have been a tap backward on reaction to the fact that he was about to eat a dive kick to the face.
Keep in the corner though. Okay, what's up in the crouching short?
No punish. And KO.
That was close short, I think. Well, Dudley doesn't have close normals. It was just short.
Another throw. Whoa. Nope.
Ooh, good punish.
What's his tempo?
KO Bean just took him to both corners and he's just keeping him there. He was like, which one do you like better? You want to stay in this one? How's this one?
Let's go hard Fred.
Wow, Smash Ult is actually coming up pretty soon.
Bye-bye, Fred, guys.
He's been in Florida for too long.
Here we go, guys.
And Hardware's gonna make he needs to make like some serious adjustments because KO Bean just kept him in the corner of the last game. Uh-oh.
Nice combo.
Combo there, KO.
When you watch Third Strike twin players,
Still going too much.
they make dive kick look like it's super duper versatile. And then when you actually play Yun or Yang, dive kick is pretty fucking stiff.
Oh,
Red
Trey.
parry.
You have to get like a decently low connect to get a good combo out of it. And also, your angles are kind of hard to work with. It's hard to make the light one hit at all. And the medium kick and hard kick ones, both, like, it's easy to hit them high.
Plays really fast, so it's very, very hard to get him to stop. And that's the way to stop, but missed the opportunity for any type.
The low medium kick was just to force Yang to block low, but really low light kick probably would have been better.
His one round that he was actually gonna get.
I think what he was trying to do, Dudley was trying to not be close. Because if he wasn't close, then a low is a lot less obvious. You wouldn't normally low parry if Dudley was that far away. And the only way that Dudley could blow you up for not low parrying is crouch medium kick. So that was actually pretty smart, I suppose.
He's finally got
But he mistimed it.
gunshot.
That didn't combo.
Hit of that.
Oh, no, he just missed the first hit.
The
I saw the 5-hit combo and I was like, huh?
Is the first hit, the first initial hit. Without it, it doesn't do as much. Still does damage, but harder. EXs. No blocks. Combo.
Yang actually has a TC into his target combo, his dive kick, which we see right now.
He's not parrying the second part of that target.
This Yang secret color has a unique shade on his Rekkas. They're pink instead of blue. A lot of the secret colors change something that's the same color for every other costume, which I appreciate. Like on all of Ryu's outfits, he usually has a red bandana. That's not true. He has a black bandana for some of them, but his secret one has a blue bandana.
Yeah, don't even talk to me. Nah, don't even talk to me about Denges. Fucking. Denges is definitely the catfish. The first catfish, talking about like rearranging her guts and shit, and then you just like show up and she's like, two of you. Alright, here we go. Alright, and. Nice
Whoa.
parry, but
Is that block 2 hits then low parry? That's wild. That's a wild thing to do against Dudley. He hit the Rose. You see that? The Rose has a hurt box.
I'm not gonna get hyped for him.
Even after you parry it, it still has a hurt box. He parries the Rose and then immediately hits it with Stand Strong. Either player can hit the Rose after it's parried. It would probably be worse, because that would remove his OSs. Oro can hit Stand Strong as a poke in some matchups. And,
I think Kang's like on Mega Man, that's why he's jumping in so much.
if they happen to dash in, like Makoto, I do this a lot. I poke with Stand Medium Punch, which is not a horrible poke against her. But if she dashes in right, then I get the launcher. And then I can combo out of Venom Reaction into fucking Medium Stomp. Because you can just, one, you can just always buffer it. But on Makoto, you can actually do two-hit medium punch into Medium Stomp and have it combo. And then you can combo an uppercut after that. Because you're at JP5. It would do some good things and some bad things if it was a proximity normal.
He would have confirmed that fierce. Damn, KOP's talking about boats and like sending people to Chinatown. Wow, what a Mr. Perry.
Nice. Super? Could've.
Ooh, there we go.
Saved the meter. It was like probably a waste of super, but it was available. I mentioned this before, but
Like getting one parry.
this stage is narrower than all other stages.
Oh, there's the jump in, the classic. Oh my god, he got Dark Shot Super.
And it's not, you can't normally pick it, except in this version of the game.
Alright, and exit is cracked.
So it's kind of weird that they're playing on it. But actually every stage is a different width in Street Fighter 3, which is something you almost never see anyone talk about.
Okay, super.
But it's like, this stage is actually not usually pickable in versus mode.
Oh, no, he's gonna lose it. Oh, let's fucking wow. He did the same thing he was doing in casuals. Ripping
Technically yes, but generally speaking, if you want the launcher and it's not coming out, it's because the launcher wouldn't hit if it came out. This tournament is apparently from July 24th, 2018, earlier this year.
This is the only way to win. With honesty.
Like, the reason close medium punch and close medium kick for Oro have different activation ranges is because a lot of close medium punch doesn't actually have that much lateral range. There are ranges where close medium kick will hit, but close medium punch will whiff.
Show me on arcade when you can pick a stage. Always. That's some console shit.
Far Fierce. He's been using that a lot. To anti-air too. He's timing it all weird. Oftentimes Ken's anti-air with Fierce, but they wait longer. They do it after an OS parry. And then they get the close Fierce as the anti-air. That was cool. Very low risk anti-air. Jump back hard kick. Nice confirm. That's actually a lot tighter than it looks. In other Street Fighters, you have like an hour to do fucking button into fireball into super. In 4 and 5. But in Street Fighter 3, you've got to cancel like the first frame of the fucking fireball. So you actually only barely have more time to do this cancel than you do with Rollo forward super.
Yeah. It's like super hard to do. Especially with how many good players there are here and how many buttons there is. Yo, Lance still calling out. Nice.
So many early Stand Fierce. Is that to catch Dudley's tiny jump, or what is it? Is that good against Dudley's normals? That was anti-air. That was like wake up parry. But Dudley mistimed his normal. You can see it. He goes for forward. He taps forward and then just goes for a normal. He was trying to get parry into stand strong. But the parry never happened. Yeah, Oro almost certainly is high tier. He just loses to the top 3.
With Ken. Fucking gotta do it. You now.
Oro like beats every other character in the game or goes even with them. And he absolutely smashes most of the low tiers. Oro is like the definitive proof that you can't just look at tier. You have to look at matchups. And there's 2 really big reasons for that. Urien is stronger than Oro in tournament. Because Urien fights the top tier characters better.
That's weird. It kind of sounds like there's sound from the gate. Shut. This is the non-superior.
And the top tier characters are more popular, which is basically what I was about to say. If you look at tier in a vacuum, Oro's like mid tier because his advantageous matchups and his losing matchups like even out. But the problem is you don't see, if you have a bad matchup, if you have like a fucking 7-3 or an 8-2, it's hard to make top 8. Because you could just run into that matchup. Oh, he tried to fade away button, but he got grabbed. Didn't fade away early enough.
You wanted to play on this instead.
Looked like low short he got grabbed out of. Nice. Very low damage punish.
These guys play how I think I play.
Anyway, Oro's... calling Oro mid tier is very misleading. Even just looking at the totality of the matchups. But then you also have the consideration that like the characters he loses against are more common than other characters. There aren't that many 12 players. Or fucking, I don't know. Who's like a character that's good that Oro beats? Let me think about that one for a second. Most of his high tier matchups are like pretty even. Ryu Oro is probably 5-5. Let me look at the fucking character select for a sec there. Akuma is probably a little good for Oro, but I've never really been sure. But it doesn't matter because there aren't that many Akuma players, but there are a lot of fucking Chun-Li players. Oro's really fucking good against Q. He's pretty fucking good against Hugo. He's like 5-5 against Dudley. He's like 5-5 against fucking Ken or Ryu. 5-5 against Urien. 5-5 against Makoto. He's like pretty even with a lot of the high tiers.
Straight up, alright, check the inside of his stick, see if you don't see like one of those PS2 discs with Game Shark attached to it. I think I'm lying, shit. Everybody's just laughing.
Yang's Rekka is actually called Torozan, I think.
It's like,
But it's been
what
so
do you
long
have
since I've thought about that I'm not even sure of it.
next to another move? That's crap. Ooh, if it's look forward to nothing though. You know that corner tested this game on Kylera?
Yang and Yan are pretty different in this game.
See, Rakurai knows. He knows what I'm talking about. Oh, look at the damage. Yang. Oh! No, look at that damage.
That
That's like 20%.
was all of the SBOs. Back when SBO was the main tournament for this game, like the fucking yearly, like most skillful players, it was teams of 3 and no repeat characters. But to be 100% honest with you, for the first like 10 years of SBO, there were only 4 characters on all the winning teams. It was not Ryu. It was Ken, Chun-Li, Yun, and Makoto. And it was like that forever. It was literally like fucking 8 tournaments of that. On teams that needed to have 3 separate characters, there were only 4 characters that had ever won. The one who broke the streak was Kuroda Akuma. And then Kuroda later won an SBO with Q, I think. And also Oro. And also Ken. I don't think he won one with Q. He won with the Oro and one with Ken as well. The Oro one's really funny though. That was the last SBO.
I like Denges though.
Co-op Cup is 5, but they don't prohibit same character on the team.
Alright, and I can't really commentate because I just play neutral. Oh my god! Okay. Let's see which is going off here.
It's more like 70%. Oro to 70% to Akuma.
No!
The difference between 70% and a kill is actually kind of big in that matchup because the opportunities don't come often.
And I have to be on the ground to activate Grenade. What the fuck, man? We got one more match. So I was
There's a lot of footage. There's footage of me escaping unblockables.
still alive.
Yeah, Kuroda got
Mikey,
in the
still alive.
in the SBO where Kuroda won with Oro. He didn't win a single match. He got completely carried by his team.
Wow, that can confirm up for wow.
I saw the results and I was all hype. I was like, oh yes, Kuroda Oro.
Pretend like I did that shit.
And I watched all the fucking replays and he lost every single one.
Blackberry throw. Yeah.
He still did some impressive things in the matches he lost.
Alright.
So I still got a little bit of a download, but if he won, he would have played a lot more.
Wow. Confirms saves meter. What? Regular. Oh.
He was on the team with MOV, and MOV's probably the single best player.
So the thing about third strike that you have to do all the time is blow your meter as quick as possible. Yes. It's like your first night in Vegas. Somebody said, "Let's get strippers and cocaine." You don't need either of them. Like strippers and cocaine, and then like you notice that you don't.
I fought like another Aura player just recently where I parried out of an unblockable.
and then the strippers
It was that guy with the TX in his name.
because he called at 3 in the afternoon. That's a good way. So you get the B1.
There's a lot of different ways to parry out. You can do one parry into stomp if you want.
Oh no! Oh, there we go.
Crota is a good candidate for third strike's best player.
Is still
MOV also is, and there's a few others. Maybe Yakun has been extremely prolific and successful the entire lifespan of the game. Tokido and Nuki and a few other Chun-Li players. Other candidates. Keisuke is like fucking... In terms of attendance, Keisuke is one of the best. Because Keisuke's been playing the game for so fucking long.
How is that not a whip punish?
He's been at every fucking thing.
Crossing the corner, disgusting. Against characters. Oh, and then the command grab. See, I'm telling you, look at this.
He's the guy who owns some arcade. I forget which one.
He got robbed.
I don't think it's GameSpot.
Getting some meter here. Sick.
Turn down my volume.
Wow.
Turn down this volume.
Let him go. It's not over. It's not over. He what the hell?
I can't tell where the sound mixer is. Going wrong. Oh, he went for... I think he had a juggle there. It looked like he went for the Kara. The sweep is normally what you get when you're going for the Kara. That's my secret hobby.
Nice. Sick. Very good feat.
That whiff punish. He actually could have canceled that to super safely. Because it wasn't going to hit unless it... I mean, it was guaranteed to hit. In that context. JR is one of the best American players, to be honest.
Second carry. Something next week, right? Okay. Put yourself in the corner, but I guess that works. The Chris G special. The slight delay.
The wrestle hard DP. That stops being invincible the frame it hits if memory serves. Which is why we just saw that trade there. If you don't get hit by the first frame hit, I basically played Gutex and I talked smack on him the whole time I was playing him. And a lot of people thought it was the most annoying thing they'd ever seen. And I got fucking put on notice. It was like before I was like a known name, really. I was like a little bit of a known name. Anyway, I had to, I took the footage off because I was getting harassed. So only the people saw it live. I still have it. It's still actually up on YouTube. It's a secret. If you just type in every single possible combination of things, I'm sure you'll eventually find it. Because normally me and Gutex both talk shit to each other. But I guess he was taking the match really seriously. Because I was doing pretty well. I like beat him in the set. Pretty comfortably. And because I was doing so well, he started like he started doubling down and like playing all hard and shit. So I was being mean and playing casual, and he was playing hard, but I was still like doing well. I was like kind of being a dick to him, but like normally it goes both ways, and it wasn't this time, and I didn't really know what to do. Like I could feel it happening as it was happening. It was like, you know, are you okay there, Gutex? But I didn't say that because I didn't know what to do. I was in his fucking house, his apartment. I just wanted to have a good time, but he was like taking it all serious, and I wanted to like, I wanted to dispel it. You know, I want to be like, hey, like,
That shit hit me. Like I got a sharp pain in my fucking side right now.
I don't know, I want to have fun.
Why do you
But I
guys
was doing
think
too
it
well,
was
you know.
the jab? Here we go. Okay, that was really far. Really far across the forward. No.
I know.
I'm sorry, man. It's like 12 o'clock. We're in New York. It's all about G Unit again. Gorilla Unit, baby. Oh no.
One of my RL friends just watched it and he was like, damn, you're being a badass.
Throw. Alright.
I guess it's different if you know me.
Boy takes it in the most like non-dramatic finish.
I'd like to tell myself that anyway. I did piss off Hung B, yes. Well, I didn't piss him off. I just, well, I guess I did piss him off. I piss off a lot of people with my third strike gameplay. And the reason is I'm better than I'm known for. You know what I mean? That's kind of changed now. But I used to be abnormally good for a nobody. And people really don't like that. If you're too good, people will get mad if they haven't heard of you. They have to, like, prove that you're not actually, that they shouldn't have heard of you. If they don't know your name, but you're, like, playing really well, then it's like they think that they're just playing bad against, like, a random. And they just haven't figured you out yet. Like, you shouldn't be able to get good without building a reputation. But I managed to get pretty good without building a reputation. Because I usually didn't say anything to anyone, and I only played on fucking GGPO and 2DF and Fightcade. I got pretty good playing, like, fucking underground. That parry, that was weird. So I played Hung B, and he'd never fucking seen me in his life. And I went 9-3 against him. I, like, beat him. And, like, I asked him for I challenged him, and he's like, first to 3. And I fucking beat him 3-0. And he was like, keep going. And then eventually he just dipped. But he was he was like visually frustrated as he was playing me. I didn't even say shit to him. I like didn't say a fucking word to him. I was like, hey, you want to play? And then we just played until he left. Yeah, Juicebox, that happened as well. I was a who against Juicebox, and he got really frustrated. I think he ended up leaving on one of mine, but basically. Unfortunately, there's no record of that one because it happened live. I could have saved it too. It was on my PS3. I just didn't think to at the time. And the records aren't saved if you turn the console off and then turn it on again. But I'm sure if you asked Hungby, actually, he probably wouldn't remember because that was ages ago. That was at the 37th Reloaded. That's probably my fucking biggest success story. That's one of my 2 little claims to fame in my head. Convince Juicebox to ditch third strike and fucking make a 420 video. Those are the 2 best things I've ever done.
Oh my god. No, I know. It's lag, baby. No, he's not embarrassed.
I have like a clip. I don't even know where it is. But I have like a clip of Juicebox going. He got me down to like a smidge, okay? I was in the corner. He was Ken. I was Oro. I was fucking sitting here. I had like a little tiny speck. And he did meaty EX uppercut. And I parried 4 times. And then he had like 50% left. I fucking did stand strong into EX Tengu and then juggled him to death. And it was literally like. That happened to me. Okay, I got the 4 parries. I had to parry there. My hand was forced, and he after I found that on his side, and I like watched the replay of it and what his reaction was and whatever. I watched his stream archive, and he like put his head in his hands for a second. He's like, you know, that the funny thing is, there was nothing else I could have done there, and I was watching that like, what the fuck? Like that's what you say? He didn't even have to go for the EX uppercut, dude. You take on a risk every like. Of course I was gonna parry there. Anyone would parry there. All these fucking attacks were unblockable. Okay, I had to parry. It was fucking. It was the only thing I could do. And you know, not only one, it was unoptimal because he could have done low forward into or low short into EXDP or close strong into EXDP, and that would have added a parry, which you know wouldn't have been a huge deal. But it also would have been a high only parry or a low only parry. So either I had to do low parry into 4 parries or high parry into 4 parries. So that would have given it like a 50-50 chance of me dying. Even if I like knew I had to parry, it would still be a 50-50 chance of me dying. But he could have thrown me, and what could I have done? I couldn't have done 50% with like anything. I mean, even if I knew he was gonna throw, like I just would have teched the throw, you know, and then he wouldn't be dead. Or he could have just waited and watched. You don't have to act, you know. He did the wrong thing because he could have attacked me with a 50-50, a high-low parry only kind of thing. And then he also fucked up just purely by going for the chip in the first place. I mean, I'm sure you can find it. Well, I don't know. I've got the full archive from Juicebox's side, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if he's got a YouTube channel where it's all up. It's my rematch with him. He played a few different people besides me in the same stream. It's the second time I played him. It was Juicebox. This is way after 4 came out. Way after. This was like not so long ago. It was a few years ago now. I thought his reaction was really funny because it was just like, I don't know. He hadn't really, it was like inexperience on his part, but he was touting himself like it was the truth. You know, when it was like, no, it's just, it was more complex than what you did. You just like don't realize it. There are a few true checkmate scenarios in Third Strike, but they're not common. A really obvious one is KKZ from Akuma. Akuma's KKZ, at least exactly one hit is unparryable, but if that hit chips you out, and if you can't get out of the way, then it's checkmate. And most characters can't easily get out of the way. Like if Akuma's got you cornered and he's next to you, if you like, even if you like forward jump or super forward jump, it's hard to get out of the way of it. But there's a few more even besides that. There are some borderline checkmate scenarios. There are parries that no human could ever do. Oro SA2 into command grab is theoretically... Well, I don't know. I don't actually know if you can just block the frame the fucking hit grab hits and still red parry the fireball. I don't know if the hit grab and the parry and the fireball can hit on the same frame, and I don't know what happens if you try and fucking block there. This is Defend the North 2018, and I'm watching something that's not footage of the actual matches. Is this Dinges? Yeah. The hit grab does 0 chip. You know what's really funny about Aura's hit grab? The different versions do different amounts of damage. But that's it. That's the only version differences. I think they all have the same recovery. They seem to all have the same startup. They all have the same range. It's just that the heavy one does more damage than the light one. Yeah, SA1 on the opponent's landing recovery is technically guaranteed. But also, that's like, I don't know if you can really call that a checkmate because the opponent jumped. So really, it's more like an anti-air. It's more like a punish. In a way. I missed the fucking fancy thing. What happened? I wasn't paying attention to the match. I was looking at the chat. Oh, a frame slower. I didn't know that. They all have the same combo routes. There's no way to combo into any of them except from low strong, close forward, and low forward. And all 3 of them combo from all 3 of those normals. And there's no EX version. None of them combo from lights or anything.
He's like, I'm gonna need some distractions. Throw something at Frankie in the middle of the match.
I guess technically if the opponent parried something that you then canceled into hit grab, you'd want it to be the light hit grab so you could potentially snatch them out of whatever they were going to punish you with. So I guess technically speaking there's a purpose for the light one. Street Fighter 3 engine. Eureka. Solved it instantly. I don't know. Oro's very... The things that make Oro interesting are very tied to this engine. So I don't know how you'd... Like, I can think about how I'd integrate him into other games. Yeah, practical checkmates are everywhere. Ken doesn't have a whole lot. Ken has some decent ones. If you do EX Fireball into Shipu, then not only is the parry pretty hard, but also the parry timing changes depending on how far away you are from the opponent. Nice. The Fireball and the Shipu must be parried independently. Unlike, say, EXDP Shipu, where you just parry them all in sequence. But I've seen people do that parry before. Ain't too bad.
Nah, never mind. It didn't hurt that much. Whoa! Wow! How dare you put your fingers in the air like that, sir? Throwing up gang signs to get street cred. I don't actually know.
Ooh.
I don't think they do. I think it's block attacks or...
A lot of characters have some borderline fucking checkmates. Some of these got our lightning leg stuff.
Throw City.
You can technically parry your way out of that. It's not even that hard to do a bunch of parries in a row. It's easy to fuck up one though. And it's actually pretty hard to punish. Even if you get all the parries you need to, which is like 20.
Wow, now he's returning.
Also, most characters literally can't interrupt between lightning legs because they hit like every frame. And because they're a special move, you only get 2 extra frames, including the recovery time, which is nothing, to get a punish in. Yeah, Akuma's air SA1 and anti-air SA1 stuff is pretty hard to fucking parry your way down. Parry your way out. Akuma's got a lot. Akuma has some where he can like dash up and throw you while you're parrying. And that's pretty hellish. You can technically tech the throw, but then you have to go from the throw tech into parries, which is really hard. Ibuki's SA1 is not actually too hard to parry all of. It's easy to fuck up though. The real problem is that it's safe even if you parry all of it. So she can do it a few times on you. That's cute. Swapping sides does actually force a parry direction change. Parry and then jump away? Hell no. It hits way too fast. You can't even leave the ground. You get hit during your pre-jump frames. You're parrying like every frame. Oh, remember when I played Flow? There's no footage of that either. There used to be footage from Flow's side. But I think it's just gone because Twitch deleted a lot of old footage. I played Flow a bunch in Third Strike. I beat him, which is not super duper surprising because he's not like a really known Third Strike player. He was just playing it casually. He just hopped on fucking GGPO and played a bit and then fucking left. And he ended it with, sorry about your dead game, bro. Which is a very Flow thing to say, I think. He's right. The point he was making is that even though I'm good at Third Strike, it doesn't fucking matter because no one fucking cares about Third Strike. I like didn't even have anything bad to say about that. I agreed with him. I was also sorry about my dead game, bro. Scary.
Oh god! Oh god! There it is. Oh. Ow!
Flo played a lot of characters against me. I think he played Chun-Li a little bit and he got like one match win with Chun-Li. And then I think I beat him every other match. We only played like 20 or maybe like 30. He pulled out a lot of different characters. He mostly played Q and I won those pretty free because I'm good at that matchup and it's an easy matchup. It plays to my strengths while also being fairly fucking, you know, while also being like a 7-3 or 8-2.
No, you don't need it. You don't need it. You already did enough. You did enough. Sir, you have hit that spot.
But I think he did get one with Chun-Li. He was like a pretty good player. You can tell, honestly, the way someone plays. You can tell when someone's a good player fighting games, but not a good player at Third Strike. Juicebox is very much that. But he's like actually a lot better than most of the other, like, of that. Ooh.
That's a man on a fucking mission right
Maybe? Frankie 3S and Frankie BFG? I don't know if they're the same guy. I feel like they probably are. But I don't actually know.
What the hell was that? I've never gotten hit with a fireball and thought
They've got to be, right?
Oh
Nice.
my god. Frankie shook his head. He's like, no, he doesn't want it. Does he want it? He doesn't want it. Wow. Vengeance is a homebody, and by that I mean speaker. Body. The originator.
Juicebox is a good Street Fighter 4 player. Remember how strong Abel became like right at the end of Ultra? They're like Abel players winning everything. Damn, that parry and nothing. He was expecting a cancel, but it never came. But he like could have reacted to no cancel and still got a sweep. That was like kind of a choke that he didn't.
He did parry. That was the sickest punish. Parry into nothing. Wow, that was crazy.
Abel did get some nice buffs in Ultra. The EX change of direction was a bigger deal than I thought. At first I saw the EX change of direction and I was like, yeah, it was players getting better too. At first I saw EX change of direction. I'm like, oh, he has a combo from lights. That's kind of cool. That's like nice that he got that. That's a nice buff. But then also like reversal, you know? Your armored fucking EX change of direction coming out a lot faster just made it a much more functional reversal. And then also, ooh, nice. DP'd right through the fireball. And then also you get FADC Ultra from that. I feel like Yun's easiness is overstated. Yun is one of the harder characters in SF4. He definitely became easier once you didn't have to worry about his Gene anymore, because now you can just do red focus combos instead. But I guess he has easy links. He's low health, and he's volatile. He's also somewhat technical.
I can play Ken that good.
So he's not an easy character to just pick up.
So Kang's talking all that shit, but the last time that I played Kang and we played for dinner,
It's the end of the tournament, I suppose.